Hey guys, Dan with S3 Archery here, and wanted to bring you an update video. It's been a while since we posted anything. Just to let you know what Joe and I are working on and how things are going. Lately we've been spending a little bit of time in the woods doing some hunting. We're just getting into the prime rut here in Minnesota. But outside of the hunting part, we've actually been doing a lot of working on our form, which we really try to do all season round, all year round actually. But the new twist on it is now we're trying to do some long distance shooting. We're in the 30, 40 yard range, sometimes up to 50. We've got an in-law that has some really nice property. He's got a nice trimmed backyard, and so we've been doing these longer distance shots with not only ourselves but some of our friends and family. But the negative of doing those long distance shots is that with the instinctive style, it's hard to really dial that in at the beginning. And so we've had a lot of arrows that have been errant and going in places where they really shouldn't. Like I said, it's a nice safe spot, but occasionally those arrows from those long distances, they come into the ground and they're just so parallel with the ground that they just bury down under there. And so we've lost several arrows actually over the last couple of weeks that we've been doing this, and it's frustrating, and it's also kind of a hassle because then you spend more time looking for an arrow than you spend shooting and having fun. And so we decided, well, how are we going to solve this problem? And the solution we came up with that we're going to implement for the next couple of weeks or months until the snow gets here is put judos and do, instead of stumping, do long distance target practice. First question is, well, why do the long distance target practice? Sounds like it's a hassle. You know, you have issues with arrows, you aren't going to hunt that distance anyways. And so the counterpoint of the hassle is that there's so much benefit to be gained from those long distance shots. At 10-15 yards, you take a shot, you're a little bit off left and right, you still hit roughly where you want, you say it's a good shot. You go out to 40 yards, you take those shots. Now what would have been a 1-inch miss at a close distance is a 1.5 feet and you miss your target completely. It doesn't feel so good then. And so by working on that, you really are fine-tuning your bow arm, your string hand, the release. If you can keep your shots now all of a sudden hitting target, you might not hit the exact spot on the target, but you can really dial those in. Now your lefts and rights get very tight from 40 yards. You go to hunting distance 15, 20 yards, they're going to be just like lasers. All right, so now we know the concept that we're going for is we want that precision we gain from the long distance. We don't want to lose the arrows. We're going to use the judo to try to accomplish that, hopefully. And so the next step is, well, what do you shoot at? You know, your standard target, Joe and I love the McKenzie shot blockers. We've used them, back when we shot compound. And we've had really, really good success with them. They do get torn up though, and definitely by the end of the year, I mean, we each have one of them for sure, and then we have some extras up at the cabin area, but we're burning through them. It's the cost of shooting. It's a lot cheaper than shooting a gun, even with arrow loss and target replacement. But so we don't want to really shoot those a lot with the judo tips. Even at the 40-yard range, there's still enough momentum in them that, you know, the spring arms and everything, if they do go into the target, you're going to rip it up, something terrible. Just shooting at something on the ground, a ball or something like that, doesn't really have that same appeal because of what we're trying to work on. And so the plan that came up with is there was, you know, do some stumping. We've been doing that for a long time, but we don't have the convenience of being able to run out into the woods whenever we want to and shoot at these long distances, because most of the time there's other trees and bushes and whatnot in the way, so you don't get those really long distance shots often. To help counter that, this property that I've been shooting at of my in-laws has that nice backyard I talked about earlier in this clip. Nice trimmed grass, you can go back wherever you want, you don't have obstructions you're trying to shoot around, so it's great for working on form. However, the trees that are around there aren't something that you'd want to shoot at. The benefit, of course, is that there are other trees on the property, and one of them needed to come down. It was a dead poplar tree, good 1.5 feet, close to 2 foot in diameter. And so cut that down into probably 3-foot sections, and we were wondering, well, what are we going to do with this? And so this great idea came to me, or what I assume is a great idea, to be determined in the next several weeks, is, well, let's cut the face of one of them off, angle the bottom though, so you have the full diameter at the base to give it good support, but you've got a flat surface, put a dot on there and then shoot at that. This allows us to leave it out all season. Eventually it's going to rot and wear out, but not a big deal. Because it's poplar, it's not a super dense tree, and so we don't anticipate a lot of shaft breakage, especially at those yardages. And it should be easy arrow retrieval. If you do miss the target, which is still as large as any block that you would normally shoot at, it's in the grass, it's not going to bury down. You might tear up the grass just a little bit, but then again, I mean, it's grass, and it's not a big deal there. So that's my plan for the next several weeks, whenever I can sneak out here. Shoot the 30-yard, 40-yard shots, bring the judos. And instead of shooting at rotted stumps as I'm walking through the woods, you know, you got that long distance, and so now you're really working on lefts and rights. I'm also, hopefully, because of the time that I'd put in, gonna work on that up and down as well. So I mean, next time you go to shoot those longer distances, maybe you aren't missing the target. You're not having the issues with the arrow loss, but at the beginning it's a great way to start. You know, a different thing you could try to do is, if you had a nice sandbank or something like that, you could put a ball or some sort of marker in the bank, walk back those distances and shoot. Like I said, just because of limitations, the property doesn't have something like that, and so this is going to be great because it's mobile. If the sun is shining one way and it's blinding you, although it's a big log and it's hard to move around, you know, move it to a different spot, and then you don't have to fight nature as much. You can kind of work with nature. So let's take a quick peek at this project, see how it works over the next weeks. I'm not going to shoot it at any time this round just because of other constraints I've got, and I don't have the bow out with me, but wanted to quick shoot you this video because, like I said, it's been a while. So take a peek. Alright, so here's the final product for now. You can see we just shaved off the front of it, put a nice dot on there. It's probably about 3.5 feet tall. Like I said, good 1.5 feet in diameter. So now we're able to move this anywhere we want. Gives us plenty of shot opportunity. We will keep you posted on how this works out. Like I said, we're going to put some shots on it. The judo should stick in there pretty well. If nothing else, if it gets torn up, everything wears out the front. You just repaint it, you're good to go again. So like I said, stay posted. But we think this is going to be an awesome opportunity to increase our distance shooting and tighten up our close groups.